Welcome to week number 8. We're starting week number 8 today. The discussions last week, touch on those activities, discussion. Really good discussions and the content within those discussions. Basically, we're kind of looking at what's going on in society, whether it's global or local society. And then given some assessment views. Maybe this would have stopped this data breach, holding people accountable for data breaches. That's definitely coming into play. So some very good topics last week. Let's continue with that same participation for this week. As we start week 8, I think it's access management. Access management. We deal with rules, roles, times, time-based access, role-based access, rule-based access. We meet the least. I think this chapter is probably the most important too, since it deals with mandatory access control and gives you definitions that you probably see in about every sort of security certification. So make sure you keep an eye out for those. Pay special attention to those rule-based, role-based, time, and definitely learn how to tell those apart. This week we just have week 12. Next week we will be covering 13 and 14. There will also be that one assignment, lab 14-2, which will be 20% of your grade, so make sure to get that done. That one, I would say make sure you put a good hour and a half aside just to complete that lab. It's done in a virtual environment, so it does take a good chunk of time, so make sure you set aside that amount of time just for that lab exercise. This week we finish up with a test. We only have, 3 full weeks left of the course. We'll also start looking at the security policy. I will show you a security policy template, and I expect you to work on it from now until the end of the semester to get a security policy for your own company. I don't know if you want to make one up. That's perfectly fine. But for your company, you make a security policy. I say usually 2 is probably good. You get a lot of content with 2. Places you can look at for security policies would be, SANS security policy. So that one is SANS security policy templates. You should see it at sans.org right here, this one. NIST does also have security policy templates you can look at. Go ahead and pick one that you find interesting or you would like to do at your employment. For myself, I always like the clean desk policy, making sure that there's no clutter left on the desk after work. That's always a good one to write about. I wrote about that one. So you kind of outline what you want to do, how you want to do it. Let's see if I can find that clean desk one. Yeah. And here we have, looking at the clean desk policy, I get an idea of what it is through the overview, its purpose, its scope, and then I start in with the policy. Go ahead and feel free to add one of these or add one of your own. There's many different examples. And then, like I said, use this as a template. Please don't copy and paste. Make sure it's in your own wording, and you should be okay. Keep on, let's go back to here. Keep on submitting the Kaplan tests and quizzes. This one, remember, this once again is a graded assignment. Once you submit, you have access to Kaplan. Simply just drop a snip in here. It'll show me you have access. You get a quiz score. Once you complete Kaplan 70 over, or you just get a score over 70, simply submit that screenshot there, and it'll affect your test 1, 2, 3, and 4 with 100%. And as you see here, somebody already did a submission, so they got over 70%. So they did it before test 3 and test 4, but that's fine. So they get automatic hundreds on those tests. Yeah, so let's hopefully that is clear, concise. The security policy, I will put out a very small outline, but I kind of want you to just figure this one out on your own by looking at those templates. And I think that is all for today. I'll start grading this afternoon if I have time. More likely tomorrow I'll get to the grades. Have a good Wednesday. See you again.